Welcome back to Close Up. He's asking voters to rehire him for another 2-year term. Governor Chris Sununu joins us this morning as he hits the home stretch of the election. Thanks for being here, Governor.
Absolutely.
So the opioid crisis remains the #1 public policy problem facing this state. It's difficult to make promises with something as difficult as addiction. It's hard to beat for individuals or public health systems. But the latest stats show a 15% drop in overdoses year to year in Manchester, and I believe an 8% overdose drop year to year in Nashua. Can you say with confidence that the new model you're bringing forward for treatment will continue this downward trend and make real progress?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. The biggest barriers we have with the opioid crisis is rural access to care. So we do have great services in both Manchester, Nashua, and the southern tier. But when you look at the accessibility of treatment and recovery, job training programs, all these wraparound services in the more rural areas of Grafton or Coos, where overdose rates have been exceeding and spiking, they just don't have the access. This new hub and spoke model is unlike anything folks have seen in across the country, frankly, and it's really going to allow people in their own communities to have full access to care. We're going to keep on that downward trajectory. We have a long way to go. There's no doubt about it. But for the first time in years, the death rate is down, the overdose rate is down, and with the new model and the new funds that are coming in, there's no doubt we're going to continue having some great success in this great challenge of our state.
What's the target date for the whole thing up and running?
We have 2 years to implement, but the first dollars are already really going out like this month. In fact, next Wednesday, we're going to be voting on the new 2-on-1 contract. That's a statewide single phone number that folks can call for immediate services 24 hours a day, where you can talk to real professionals over the line, get services immediately, get into your hubs, real access to care. So there's now what we call that warm handoff. There's no more barriers. There's no more here's a phone number, goodbye and good luck. That's the old way of doing it, and it hasn't worked. This new model is really community-based, and I think it's going to have great results for our state.
Should Safe Station be a part of the equation?
Oh, absolutely. Safe Stations has been a huge model of success in Manchester. That's going to be a big part of it. Granite Pathways will be running the technical hub here, but that's really to make sure that service providers are all connected to the individual. Safe Stations will still be a doorway that we expect people will use. It's been a big success and will be a big part of our program moving forward.
Let's turn to the gun issue. What's wrong with universal background checks for firearm purchases? Why is that a bad idea?
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea. I've always said that the laws we have on the books here in the state are pretty good. We're one of the most responsible states in the country when it comes to firearm safety. You want to make sure that the system, there is a national, the NICS system, right? This mental health system, which has had a lot of challenges nationally, and that's why New Hampshire has not participated, because you run into issues of HIPAA and privacy issues. A lot of states have actually looked at pulling out of it. So I think it's good to have a system like that in place, but you got to make sure it works well, it protects privacy issues of the individual, and you just want to make sure at the end of the day that you're protecting both the constitutional rights and the safety of communities.
Should there be background checks at gun shows?
We don't have the gun show loophole in this state. Other states have that. We really don't have that. Here, when you buy a firearm, you get a background check. So.
If a Democratic legislature, I know you don't like hypotheticals, no politician does, but if a Democratic legislature in the future were to send you an expanded background check bill, you said that you don't think necessarily it's a bad idea, but would you sign that?
Well, we'd have to take a look at it. So background check bills in other states can vary wildly, right? Depending on what they are, what the conditions are, how long it takes, what the preventions and the restrictions you're putting on an individual might be. So again, I don't think it's fair to say I would sign or not sign any bill, because something like that, you have to look at the details. When you see that they vary so much in other states, there's a lot of opportunity there to get it right. And if that's something we were to pursue, you got to get it right.
In 2016, you were a commuter rail skeptic. With the chance to bring Amazon to the state, you decided to reverse, get on board,
Absolutely.
and say we would do this for them. You talk a lot about the Advanced Regenerative Manufacturing Institute as a huge economic opportunity for the state. Why not boost that opportunity by linking it commuter rail-wise to Boston?
Well, I tell you, if the folks at Army, the Advanced Regenerative Manufacturing Institute, came and said that they honestly believe that the commuter rail would be a big boon for them, that's something we would absolutely look at. The argument that we're going to draw commuters from Cambridge and Somerville to work into Manchester probably isn't the best argument. The commuter rail is more to drive people into making it easier for them to work into Boston, right? You know, we promoted it. I put it into the 10-year highway plan. The legislature took it out. If there are driving and compelling reasons, such as Amazon or something, to make that investment, it's something we should look at. But that is a $300 million investment, to be sure. So whatever is done has to be done with the economics in place and understanding how it's going to drive business. We're having great success here. Businesses are flooding in. You know, we have more available jobs than ever before. We had a larger population increase than Massachusetts did last year. So we're really having a lot of success with the infrastructure we have. On those same lines, we've got to make sure we finish I-93. We got to finish some of our major bridge projects, make sure we're investing in the infrastructure that we have and maintaining it. But it's something to look at, but it has to really have to make sure you're accounting for the economics.
You mentioned the business climate. Democrats have attacked you for saying you're going to cut taxes again and again.
It worked.
This prompted a little bit of chuckling from Republicans, but there does have to be some kind of equilibrium, right? You can't just keep cutting taxes.
Oh, of course.
Kansas being a case in point. The problem being the economy takes a bad turn and then suddenly you're cutting critical services.
We have additional business tax cuts that, again, when we cut business taxes, they get cut for every business across the state. Every employee across the state gets to benefit from that. This whole idea that we only cut business taxes for wealthy people, that's nonsense. It doesn't exist. We cut it for every single business. When you talk about business enterprise tax or business profits tax, all the businesses that are subject to that get that tax benefit. There's additional tax cuts to come online. We expect to keep those tax cuts in line. And when you look at the model, right, when we cut taxes and we focused on regulatory reform, business flourished, the state flourished, opportunity flourished. My opponent's record is very clear. Over 60 tax and fee increases, hundreds of millions of dollars pulled out of the system just for bigger government. It didn't work. Leaving the state with almost $1 billion in deficit. That model doesn't work. We tried the Democrats' model. It failed miserably. Look at the opportunity we're creating for individuals, for families, discretionary income, highest wage growth in the Northeast, higher wages in New Hampshire than ever before, 20,000 available jobs. We're creating opportunity for folks, you know, to either drive forward in the career path that they're on now, have other career opportunities, investing in education programs so people can get job training in another area. Things are going very, very well. We need to keep moving forward.
Your opponent, Molly Kelly, has been hammering you for a statement you made in which you used the word vacation in reference to paid family leave. You're an extemporaneous speaker, for better or worse. Did you misspeak in that instance?
Well, let's be clear. I support paid family medical leave. I support a voluntary program. It's not a vacation. Of course it's not a vacation. But when you look at the differences in our plan, they're stark. I tried to work with the Democrat plan last time, but it worked as an effective income tax, and the Democrats wouldn't compromise. They wouldn't change the bill. So ultimately, it failed, and it should have failed. My program includes state employees. Hers doesn't. My program has no startup costs. Hers has $20 million in startup costs. My program is a truly voluntary program where you can go in and out of the program. Hers locks the employees in, and hers is an opt-out. If you don't opt out fast enough, you're locked in. That's why it worked as an effective income tax. And most importantly, my program allows businesses under 50 employees to participate. Hers doesn't. That's the majority of businesses in the state. So our program is simply better. And it's the legislation, again, we tried with the Democrat legislation last time. It didn't work. It was an absolute failure. We're going to put forward a piece of legislation this time that is truly voluntary, doesn't create taxes, and allows people to have the options of whether they want to come in or out.
As we sit here during this taping, law enforcement is still trying to figure out this politically motivated mail bombing situation that's been going around the country. There's a lot of finger pointing going on right now about the political atmosphere that might seem to lead to this kind of violence. Again, we don't know the motivation right now, so it's still a question mark. But do you feel that President Trump is any way responsible for the political climate right now that might lend to a situation like this? Or do you believe, as he believes, that the media is responsible?
I think America as a whole is responsible. I think we have let our culture and our divisiveness take control, and it has led down a very negative pathway. You know me. I stay positive. We work collaboratively. We bring people together to put all the ideas on the table. That's why we've been so successful here in New Hampshire. I don't run attack ads, right? I don't believe in that kind of negativity. Other folks do. My opponent does. She wants to run that D.C. style of campaigning. Of her first 3 ads were attack ads. We're negative. We're polarizing. Just as a culture as a whole, whole, I think we need to step away from that. People want us to step away from that. I think everyone in Washington is to blame for what's going on out there. And again, Vice President Biden, I thought he made a great speech the other day when he said, look, it just has to end. We have to stop that level of vitriol, that level of polarization. We've been very successful here in New Hampshire because we work across the aisle, because we don't embrace negativity, because we do it collaboratively. It's something that I think we've become a kind of a gold standard, if you will, for public service across the country. We need to keep up that momentum because that creates the success, not for ourselves, but for the individuals and the families and the businesses across the state.
Governor Sununu, we'll see you at the Grand Estate Debates.
Thank you very much.
All right.